good people, how are you doing? I hope that you're doing great. Now I'm here to announce to you that we are having the biggest business trip to China happening on 12th of March. Now, in any part of the world that you could be in, and you've always wanted to know wherever people source specific things or everything and anything from China and the factories, this is the greatest opportunity that you have to join us in our upcoming trip that is happening on 12th of March of this year. We have two itineraries. The first itinerary is the 10 days trip to China, and the second one is the 17 days to China. Now, the difference between the two itineraries is that one, we only cover the Guangzhou international markets. The other one, we're going to cover the Guangzhou and then fly or use a bullet train all the way to Yiwu and explore. This is for the purpose of comparisons. For a person who wants to do a comparison between the Yiwu market and the Guangzhou market. They are different in their own ways, and all of them have their own advantages and disadvantages. Precisely myself, I get my products from the Guangzhou market. I'm not a Yiwu person. But it is quite important for you to be able to do the comparisons between the two. Now, we have itineraries that take care of the people that are out of our country. That is an itinerary that excludes the air ticket. Yes. And when I talk of the air ticket, it's because I cannot be able, or we cannot be able to estimate the amount of money that you're supposed to pay from your country to China. But for the people that are in Kenya, we have a complete itinerary that is inclusive of the air ticket. However, I'm going to help you who is out there, not only the people that are in Kenya, in the visa processing. So if you need the invitations, we are the one to provide. If you need, the bookings, the hotel bookings and all that. And we only do this to the people that have completed their registration process. So if you've always thought of, I would want to fly to China, but you don't have someone to hold your hand, to teach you how to do business, this is a great opportunity. If you're an established business person, and maybe you've ever flown to China once, twice, you really didn't understand the market, some of you even hate China, you think that China is a scam. No, give it the last try and join this trip. It's going to benefit you. I'm all ready and feeling energetic to give you the best of what I've acquired over almost a decade now through experience and through learning for so many years. So I'm here to teach and to mentor you. Again, if you haven't done your registrations, please do your registrations and have a look at these two itineraries before you choose whatever you want to choose, the itinerary that you want to choose. So I'm looking forward to see you in China. We had a very beautiful trip last year. It was our first trip to China, and I'm excited and humbled at the same time the fact that we had different continents represented in that trip. From Australia was in house, Canada, Caribbean, Kenya, that is Africa. And even for this, I believe that you will feel comfortable from any part of the world that you're in to join us. Let's learn how to do our imports. It will be an intense trip. When I talk of intense, it will be very tiring. I always want to give you some heads up. It will be quite tiring. So if you feel as if you cannot be able to walk for quite some distance, please start doing your exercise. Get to the gym, because China is a walking nation. And being able to cover all these international markets, that means they're even in very different districts. Then you need to cover them. And one market can have almost or even more than 10,000, 8,000, 5,000 factory outlets. One market alone, can you imagine? Then you're there, you're supposed to cover as much as you can. That will require a lot of working, and you have to be fit. It will be tiring, but it is always worth it. Again, it is very tiring. You must lose some few kgs, and that is what happens to anyone who flies to China to do business. They can tell you it requires a lot of walking, a lot of actually you can walk for like 20 kilometers in the same building. Can you imagine? By the time you're checking how many steps you've walked or the kilometers you've walked, it's a whole 20-15 kilometers. So it is quite tiring, but it is always worth it in a way that if you choose the right product to bring or to ship into your country, then that is it. I always give this advice that I was given by a stranger in a plane when I was flying to China one day, who told me that the day or the time you are in a plane flying to China to do business, it's a business trip, then you will have beaten poverty at 50%. Then once you get to China, once you set your feet in China, you should and you will have beaten poverty at 100%. However, it all depends with whatever you go to pick right there to collect and sell in your country. And I remember for the longest time as a business person, one of the key things that limited me from getting ideas of other things that I can be able to import from China to my country is lack of exposure. You can fly to China 1,000 times, but you never get the exposure that you need to see the markets, to see the products and all that. And when you're on the other side, it becomes quite expensive to be able to pay someone per day to show you one market or two. It becomes very, very expensive. They charge from $30 all the way to $100 a day for a person to show you just a few things in a day. So you can only imagine. So one of the key things that limited me to get the exposure and the idea of other business things or business ideas or other things that I can import in the country was lack of exposure. And I'm here to do that for you. We are going to visit so many markets that you won't believe. Get yourself a good phone with a good camera and a good storage, because I would be expecting you to take pictures. In any place that I take you, you are supposed to take pictures. You are supposed to get suppliers, because I have prepared a schedule that I'm going to take you to the markets. Then I'll give you some days that if you want to go back to any of the markets that I've shown you, maybe to shop something or two, or maybe to get your stocks, you can be able to do it. So get yourself a good phone, and good phone, I mean good camera. It doesn't have to be expensive, with good storage. I remember in my first trip to China, if it was not for me taking pictures of the items and posting them, I couldn't have made not even a coin. So remember, in my first trip to China, as I always tell you, I went with $500 only. And that was inclusive of the money that I'm supposed to use for accommodation and eating. But I really wanted to get my feet in China to just see for myself. One thing that I believed is that once I get there, get to see the items, get to see wherever people get these products from, get the connections, get how to ship them, whatever, and that is one of the things that I'm going to teach you. Get to learn all these things. Even if I get back to my country, I'll be able to make my orders. That is what I wanted. But when I was in China, I started taking pictures of the items that I got wowed by the things that I could see in China, and started taking pictures as I posted them. And by the time I left the country, I had made sales worth more than 8,000, and orders. I'd received orders of more than $8,000. So I'm expecting you in this trip that we are going, you better get yourself a good phone with a good storage, so that you can be able to preserve all the information that you need. You must get yourself notebooks. I'll teach you the purpose of the notebooks. You must get yourself a paper punch. Not paper punch, but a stapler. I'll teach you the purpose of all these things, because I want you to follow my footsteps. And I'll try as much as possible to guide you, to protect you, so that you might not make any of the mistakes that I made along the way. So It will be a beautiful trip. Then I'll dedicate a day or hours to teach you how to do your imports when we are still in China. It doesn't matter the nationality, the continent that you're coming from. I have a very big team and a very supportive team that knows everything, and they're there to help you. You that you're in Canada, you that you are in US, you that you're in Australia and you want to ship your things to Australia, what is the best way to go about it? I teach all these things, and we are going to cover them in our trip. I'm also praying to God that may God give me the best people. And God is faithful. I believe God is going to give me the best group of people that we are going to have ourselves a good time as we learn and just make memories. I'm looking forward to have an exciting moment with you. So write to us if you would want to be part of the trip. Send us the itinerary, either of the itineraries that you could have chosen, or either of them, the 10 days or the 17 days. Send us via our email address, and right here, this is our email address, that is just treychinatravels@gmail.com. Then we're going to share with you our payment details. Make your payments. Allow yourself to go through the visa process. It is hectic. Not that the Chinese are going for a very long holiday, so I believe that the embassies also will be closed, so you don't have much time to start the process of getting your visas in place and all that. So give yourself enough time to be able to get your visas, so that by the time we are getting to the first week of March, everyone will be having their tickets, everyone will be having their hotel bookings, everyone will be having their visas. In the last trip that we did, we had a group of people that tried to rush the last minute, and they were quite frustrated. A good number of people came in the last minute, tried to be part of the group, tried to work on their visa and the visa process, and they couldn't, and they got denied their visas. They didn't have enough time to reapply for their visas, and they seriously got frustrated. So don't be among them. Make your registrations early enough, and see you soon. I'm looking forward to see you soon, and I'm much ready to teach and to mentor you. I'll be there in person. Yes, I know we have the tour guide who is supposed to do the job to show you and to teach you and all that, but I must be there with you. Can you imagine? So that I can see if you're grasping whatever I want you to grasp, if you're seeing whatever I want you to see, if you understand how to converse with these people, because those are the things that I always teach you: how to converse with these people, how to communicate, how to ask for this, all these things. I'm the one to teach you when I'm right there. So I'm looking forward to have a beautiful time again. This is the last time that I'm mentioning that, and write to us if you do want to join us. Bye bye.